with you.
What are you talking about? I have nothing interesting to say.
Not true. So first off,
Yes.
I want to say thank you for being here. We've got Eric Swider with us here today on the There's So Much I Don't Know About You podcast. And we actually maybe possibly owe him an apology. I don't know if you know this or not, but...
Well, then it's not we.
Well, because... Okay, so
I feel like somebody owes me an apology for something.
Maybe I owe you an apology, but it's also not my fault.
Right.
Because if you remember, like a long time ago...
Yeah.
You were at our house and we talked about you doing a podcast?
Oh, I wanted to, yes.
But
I know.
You never did it.
I know. I have so much on my plate, but I'm so glad you're doing it.
So we're doing it.
It's so awesome. That's
this
fantastic.
is part of why you had to be like
I love it.
One of our first guests.
I am not bitter at all.
Okay, good.
I'm envious,
so happy to hear that.
But why would I be bitter?
You can be a recurring guest.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
And he could even be like a guest host if we wanted to.
That's a great
So
idea.
fun. Love that.
Yes. I love that. Guest host.
Awesome.
All right.
So the point of this, do you want to tell the story or do you want me to tell the story of how this came about?
Oh, I told it last time, so you can tell it this time if you'd like.
So we were all at dinner at, I think, one of your favorite places, or I guess not. No, it wasn't dinner. We went to Cannon Club.
Oh, I think we said the Dollhouse.
Oh, the Dollhouse. I don't even know the Dollhouse. Okay, so we were at Cannon Club, but that's not where the idea came from. The idea came from wherever we dined that evening, which I don't remember the name of.
I don't remember either.
But anyway, we were chatting. Becky was talking to Joel. Joel said something that she didn't know, and she's like, "Oh my God, there's so much I don't know about you."
Yeah.
And then it was like, that would be a great podcast.
Yeah, Joel's an enigma.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like you are too a little bit.
Oh, I'm an open book.
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
We're going to see about that. So anyway, that's how it got started.
I think it's fantastic.
Was a dinner conversation, and then Becky was like, "No, I'm serious about this. Like, let's really do it."
You know what you could do? Every time you go on a series of amazing episodes and you're like, we need to tone the excitement down, you could call me and say, let's do an episode with Eric.
I don't believe that that's true.
We'll let the audience judge.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see what you have to say.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm excited that you're here. I'm excited that we're doing this. So the plan is we're going to just talk to Palmas peeps. We have some other, like, what do we call them? Like show topic ideas where we think it would be really fun to talk to like people's parents or family when they come into town, like with that person that lives here. And
or like daughter's boyfriends.
Ooh, daughter's boyfriend.
Can I make a production note?
Yeah.
I would recommend that there should be a 30-minute pre-drinking period.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, you know what you could do? You could actually send cocktails or wine to the host at their home ahead of time.
I love this so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
A podcast with a present.
I love that. Right, I gotta write that down.
Okay. Add it to the notes.
Yeah.
I love that. So this is funny because I feel like every show we've done, we're like getting better with, like, everybody's giving us tips and things that we should be doing. So
were any of them good other than mine?
Yeah, no, they've been great. Like last night, Alana had the idea that we should be asking our guests, what is either your favorite thing about Palmas, your favorite beach, your favorite like hidden gym, favorite meal, favorite restaurant. So
interesting.
What's yours?
Oh,
putting you on the spot.
Well, my favorite thing about Palmas is the people, and I imagine most people say that.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's what makes any community. Like, if you think about this, whatever town you came from or any town you've ever lived in, did you have a list of 10, 20, 50 people that you could reach out to and do something socially with?
No.
Very few people do. It's almost unheard of. But in Palmas, it's like you try to run because you can't keep up with all the social events. Right? What a fantastic environment.
True.
That so many people that you can relate to, spend time with, enjoy yourself with. You know what I mean?
100%. Like this week, I think every single night this week I've had something.
Yeah, so the people is definitely Palmas, yeah.
What's your favorite restaurant here?
That's a tough one. Because it depends. Like, for different things. family night out, it would be Trova because they have air conditioning. It's quiet.
Usually.
Service is good. And then Christina's. Christina's always been a long-time favorite. But then you've got...
By Christina's, he means Cafe de la Plaza.
Cafe de la Plaza. For hospitality, service, and food combined, Pure Vita. They spoil us at Pure Vita.
Yep.
It's hard not to love that place. And I think those are the only three I know.
I know you know others.
I'm a creature of habit.
I've dined
I'll say
with
that.
you at others.
Which ones?
Augustina's.
Augustina's. So I love their food. Here's my challenge with Augustina's. They don't have enough tables. There's no air conditioning. And if I'm up there enjoying myself buying wine, I like to go into their wine cabinet, like really in any restaurant I go to. I just want to go to the wine cabinet and get what I want. And they don't appreciate when you walk through that little hallway.
Right.
I'm like, I'm not going to walk all the way around side to go get a bottle of wine.
Yeah. And you're not
So-
going in the kitchen either.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I take points off of it for that.
Noted.
Yeah.
I understand. And
No
I-
offense to Augustine's if they
yeah,
listen to this.
Yeah.
If there was one type of restaurant that you wish was here, what would it be?
Just a family style, reasonable family style, and that would include breakfast and dinner. And then the other thing, I think the
Like a
beach
Golden
club concept
Corral?
is completely, well, yeah, Golden
I'm
Corral.
kidding.
I wish we had a Golden Corral. And a Denny's. If we had a Golden Corral and a
Oh,
Denny's,
yeah.
It'd be perfect.
yeah, perfect. The tennis club, all wrong.
Have you been since new owners, new management?
No matter what it is, it's all wrong.
Okay.
Because it's a tennis club, right? So what should be at the racket club? It should be the only health food restaurant in Palmas, right? You're over at the racket center. You should be able to get smoothies, frappies, salads, quick, good, light fare. Like we should have at least one spot in Palmas where it's not a variety of fried foods and steaks.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're going to have that, naturally it seems like it would be the tennis club.
Right.
I think the problem is everybody tries to be everything. All the restaurants want to be everything, right?
Yeah.
We got all these steaks, all these fried foods, and like, why? Why not just be what you should be or could be, or be something different?
I just wish that some restaurants would open on Tuesdays.
Yes, yeah. So I don't go. So tomorrow I'm going to go have brunch with somebody at the coffee,
Yeah.
and it's my first time going.
Oh, I like coffee.
Yeah, I like it.
I have
Yeah.
disavowed the place because I went there 3 different times when they were first opening, and the sign on the door said open, and they weren't. And so I just said, okay, I'm never going again. Like, for example, I'm trying to get an architect to come in and design my home because I usually don't use one. I've done all my own design work for years, whatever. Not saying it was a good choice. It's probably really shitty, but that's what I did. So I decided, you know what? I don't want to renovate ever again. I'm going to just hire a bunch of people, get it done the right way, and leave it. I have had 2 architects come to my home. I walk through, I take photographs, I explain everything, send them emails, and I never hear from them again. So now at this point, I'm just like, you know what? Architects just don't exist. I'm just done with them. I haven't even started. So if I come to your restaurant 2-3 times in a row and you're not open when you say you're open, you're not a restaurant. That's pretty harsh, right?
fair
But
enough, though. I mean, yeah.
That's maybe that's a pet peeve. I think it's a pet peeve of mine.
I mean, I'm glad you're going because it is good.
It is.
Yeah.
I bet I'll enjoy it.
While I was preparing for this interview,
This is an interview?
the interview,
Can we call it a chat?
conversation.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm more comfortable
it's
with
not,
that.
Not an interview. It's
I
not
didn't
like
dress appropriately
we're not
for an
hiring
interview.
you for a job.
But I didn't dress appropriately for an
The
interview.
only reason that we are dressed somewhat appropriate is because we're going to dinner after.
Oh,
And
I was
so
going to say,
that's-
you should have told me. I could have put on a suit or a tie or something.
Otherwise
No.
you would have been in joggers.
Yeah.
I got to put makeup on,
Yeah.
something.
Curl your hair.
Grow my hair.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe lose a couple pounds.
So no, I was Googling you,
Ooh.
and what I
Is
found.
that a sexual thing? That I'm not
Only
familiar with
ask.
this.
She did-
Only
she
you,
did ask,
Swider.
is it, it's not weird, right?
Right, it's not weird. Is that
Right.
weird?
No, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
So what I found funny is that for like 3 pages on Google,
Yeah.
it's all about DWAC.
Yes.
So I don't know how much you can say about that, if you can talk about it much.
You know, it's obviously my current assignment.
Yeah. So you're president, CEO?
CEO.
CEO.
Yep. and I'm hoping to step down in the next couple of months.
Wow.
Because that means that I've done my job. My job is to complete a merger and be done with it. We've publicly said that we want to be done this quarter, and it's been a great assignment, exceptionally challenging, but a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
So I know Becky had a question. Don't be
What?
shy.
I can't remember. I lost it.
We
is cracking me up.
we both
We should have a camera in here so people can see.
Right. So we're both really curious
Yeah,
because of your position.
yeah.
Does this mean that you get to like meet and talk to Trump?
So I will tell you that the people that I do business with and socialize has definitively changed. A lot of people that are nationally known, well recognized both politically and business-wise.
Can I mention another name?
Yeah, of course.
Devin?
Of course,
Okay.
Devin's my counterparty.
Okay.
I would say that Devin and I have become very close friends, close enough that he drop ships wine to me. He's really big into wine.
That's what I'm really interested about. That's the only
Yeah.
reason we invited you here.
Yeah, Devin is actually very big into wine. He
So he has a vineyard or no?
yeah, so he
Okay.
has a vineyard. He produced. So his family is started in wine, very big in wine, and as he would tell you, that they started selling box grape wines, the stuff you put into whatever. But he now has gone the opposite end of the scale. He was the original investor in the Alpha Omega vineyard, which is the number one rated cab in California.
Nice.
Delicious cabs. He now has a new line of wines that he bottles in the Central Coast at Tolosa Vineyards. I was there with him a couple weeks ago. Amazing. Like, I'm not a big Pinot drinker. Don't like Pinots. These were amazing. And then he also recently imported vines from, oh my gosh, what's wrong with my brain? I'll think of it in a second.
So many things.
Yes, exactly. I was going down the list. Which one could be causing this problem? Imported grapes, and he's now the only producer of those grapes in California that he's blending. So he's big into wine, amazing wines. Love going to dinner with him because he always brings a bunch of his bottles. So a lot of fun. Yeah.
So I mean, we didn't invite you here to talk about him, but
That's
I do
okay.
think it's cool, and I know, like you mentioned, that maybe he's going to do something
Yeah,
on the island or.
Yeah, so two things. One is, well, first of all, I just blend wine into everything I do because I love wine.
Yep.
I'm trying to become a collector, but I'm not responsible enough. It
Right.
turns out I'm just a consumer.
Right. It's my problem too.
I'm trying to get there. So I asked him, hey, why don't you come do some wine dinners with us? And of course he would love to because he's big into wine. But also one of my recent side projects that I'm working on is we just launched a PAC to help with minority community outreach around the country. And so I think we're going to blend that with some fundraising dinners as well.
Cool.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So much.
So much.
But I launched the PAC, right?
No.
No, you
I don't
did
think
not.
I don't think I did. No.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there's something, right? That you may not have known.
Yeah.
You couldn't find that when you Google me.
No.
No.
Did not.
And I've been Googled a lot.
Becky, show him the picture that you showed me.
Was this on Google?
Yes.
What was it? A picture of me?
So, no. Okay.
What was it a picture of?
Okay, so when you Google and then so multiple pictures come up, Eric Swider, and sometimes it's not you.
Yeah.
So there was like two pictures.
Did you come across the porn
No,
ones?
That one.
No,
No?
no, I didn't scroll long enough. And
That's what she said.
what? No,
I like it.
no.
Chuck would appreciate that.
You probably would. No. So I had a picture of you and a picture of another person.
Yeah.
But so I show it to Aaron. I'm like, we're just talking about like that as a possible thing to bring up tonight, and I'm like, but I feel like this guy looks like Mario. And she's like, that is Mario.
Oh.
Like, so why was it coming up as like?
Mario was showing up as when she Googled you.
Mario Nordett?
Yes.
Get out of here. Where's the picture? I want to see this. Was it my wedding picture? How would that end up there?
No.
Where was it?
No. It's like a Google. Like here.
It was
like,
just by
bam,
pure
bam, bam.
coincidence. Come on. I don't believe this. This is a setup.
Now we're gonna have to add this in the show notes so that everybody can see this picture.
Hold on a second. That's not Mario.
Who is it?
No, that's not Mario. That, I think, is an insurance guy. There's another Eric Swider that's
Okay,
in
does
insurance.
he not look like if his hair was shorter, does he not look like Mario?
I don't think Mario owns it. I don't know if Mario knows where to buy a sport coat.
Interesting.
That's funny.
Yeah.
There's another guy
Named Eric
named
Swider.
Eric Swider.
That's in the insurance industry.
Do you know this, Mario?
No. No, I do
Eric.
not.
But you.
I have not met that Mario. I have not.
Oh, that's funny.
Is that tea?
Yes. It's CBD tea.
Oh.
No.
That is the source of the cotton mouth.
No. Yeah, no.
Oh.
No. It's regular tea.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. No. I messed up tonight because I wanted to take a dropper of CBD, anti-inflammatory. Did we not talk about this?
Well,
already?
you could just.
We did, but
you
not,
could just say for
not-
recreational use. That would be
Not
okay.
recorded.
And so I took 2 droppers because I'm like,
Yeah.
3,000, like, and I'm load up, right? And then I realized it also has THC in it.
Yeah.
And that's a heck of a lot more than I normally would take.
Okay, so I know I shouldn't be asking questions, but I'm just curious. CBD and THC, I thought so you don't get high if you do CBD?
No.
CBD, you don't get high. THC
That's
is
just
what
an
gets you high.
anti-inflammatory.
Okay, gotcha. Interesting.
And you can ask questions. It's fine.
Oh. I just don't know that I would have CBD around. Like if I'm going to do something, I want to get high from it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
But you said that it doesn't go well with you.
I don't know. It does not. I do everything I can to avoid marijuana.
Yeah.
I caught some secondhand smoke once or a couple times.
Once or twice.
It-
Were you standing next to Sean?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, the funniest thing I ever saw about Sean was that day he flipped his golf cart on the golf course.
Oh, that's right.
Did you see him that day too?
So I
did
didn't
Joel.
see it, but I saw his post.
Oh, okay.
It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen him post. And now what makes it more comical is he's apparently on this big AI kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get the sense he's using it to, quote unquote, polish his post.
Oh, okay.
So it's like he went from being Sean to being the Shama.
That's great.
And so now whenever I read his post, I'm like, no, this is not Sean. This is his AI Shama. He denies it, but I don't think that's...
Sean is actually an incredible writer. And
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's...
It's hard to tell when 95% of what he says is stuff like,
Yeah.
don't worry, I didn't drop my joint when I flipped the golf cart.
Basically, yeah. There's many facets to Sean.
I love it. You know what? Has he been on the show yet? He needs to be on the show.
Kind of.
Because I feel like there is so much about him I don't know.
There's so much. He's going to be a recurring guest.
Oh, that's great.
I feel like all of our guests are going to end up being recurring, although the guest list is really long.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah.
Who's been your favorite guest so far?
Well, Joel.
Oh my gosh, come on.
I mean,
Conflict of interest.
this
I'm
is-
throwing her a flag on the play.
We've only done 4.
What does Joel talk about that's interesting?
So much.
By the way, I'm
So
totally
much.
kidding. I love talking with Joel.
Yeah.
Like I stopped over that one time to pick up something and I was there for like an hour.
I know, and then you went home with
With
like
the Nike,
20
yeah.
other things.
Yeah, which by the way, most of it I still have not opened.
Of course
It-
not,
it may be
because that's what you do.
Still sitting in the bag.
So
somewhere.
this is something that people in Palmas may not know about Eric Swider.
What's that?
You buy all the shit.
I had
and
to leave the group.
and then it just sits at your house.
Oh my God! Do you know what I bought
And
one time
Alicia
in the
gets
group?
mad at you
Yeah.
because
I-
you're always bringing home
I
more
physically
shit.
had to leave the group for the following reason. This is when I realized I had a problem. But it took me like 3 months to realize I had a problem. I literally purchased an electric garage door opener. I live in Aquabella. We don't have a garage. It's not like there was any hope of me ever using an
You
electric
would have
garage
to
door
sell
opener.
your house, buy a new house with a garage.
That
and
doesn't
then-
have a garage door opener
Right.
or that I could
Right,
replace.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it had an app, and I was like, oh my God, you could control that garage door opener with an app. I got to have it.
Yeah.
And then when I went and picked it up, I was like, what am I going to do with this garage door opener? I don't have a garage. That's when I realized I had a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That-
but
that
here's the
would have been
real
a good
problem.
sign.
Alicia has a bigger problem than I do.
Really?
Oh my gosh, yes, trust me. Trust me. Our front door, like you walk in our front door and it's basically a receiving area for all of Alicia's stuff. It's like
Wait,
a mini
is her
warehouse.
problem Amazon?
It's all the above.
Okay.
So for example, she just bought this like sorter divider thing that you put in the back of an SUV to
Yeah.
put stuff in. And as soon as she told me she got it, I was like, that was dumb. Because
You don't have an SUV.
No, we do have an SUV, but here's the thing. Okay, so when you have an SUV, there's certain things you put in the SUV that you carry around. Like for her, it's photography equipment.
Right.
Mine is trash I throw in the back of mine.
Stuff you go pick up from everybody.
Right, exactly. So you have to find a divider that fits the stuff you have.
Okay.
Right? So if you already have stuff, what are you going to do with the divider?
Right.
And as soon as she picked it up, she realized that. She's like, oh, well, I can't use this.
Right.
So it's been sitting in my front door for like a week. I'm tripping over it every time I walk in the house. But I love the woman like crazy, so, you just trip over it and,
Right.
yeah, whatever.
You figure it out.
Figure it out. I used to be so uptight about that stuff, and I just realized, like, whatever. It's
Is
life.
that old age?
Yes. I realized I've got very few years left to live. So,
So you're like, fuck it.
fuck it. Might as well be happy.
Yep.
Drink some wine. That's why I drink.
Yeah.
That's why I drink.
What's your favorite kind of wine? Or is it based on moods?
No, I've definitely honed in. So I left California a couple years ago and was really all into Italy. Got big into. There's some, obviously Brunello is an amazing Tuscan wine, but really got into the Barolos and then found Amarones. The Amarones are amazing.
know
You know what? I
Amarone.
should have bought over a bottle of wine.
But then that would be the opposite of what we should have been sending you wine.
Right.
for
But I have
pre-
to listen. They're really good wines.
Next
to talk
show,
about.
next
Yeah, next
show.
show. Okay.
Dropped it off as a present.
Right, to
Yeah.
the host.
Yeah.
So then I started back over in California on some very small batch cabs that are just phenomenal, mostly out of the Tocalón region. Amazing wines. So my favorite would probably be a combination of three. There's a Roaglio Barolo, the 16 and 17 is fucking amazing. I literally search the country and buy all the cases I can find, and I just drink them. And then would be Highest Beauty, probably the best wine I've ever tasted. It's, I think, even better than, I hope Devin never hears this, better than the Alpha Omega Era, which is a big statement. And then probably one of these new Pinots Devin introduced me to.
Wow.
Yeah, phenomenal wines.
What does
And the Amarones, by the way they're made, they're like 16% alcohol, and they're so delicious. You drink them like candy, and the next thing you know, you're stumbling them up the stairs like Becky on CDB.
what does Anthony have to say about that? Has he tried them?
Yeah, I think he appreciates most of my taste.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you know, but we just launched a wine club with Anthony.
What the hell?
Yeah, so we're launching in like 6 locations. It's European-centric but with a California arm. And we're going to start floor planning places in Puerto Rico. So that's something my daughter is doing.
So happy.
Yeah.
I mean, we've just been wanting this. Well, I've been wanting
I've
this
been
since
wanting
the day I
this.
moved here.
I'm
Yeah.
having like 6,000 bottles shipped to Palmas next month. Yeah, it's going to be delicious. Look,
Are we going to have one in Palmas?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Listen, here's the thing about
Palmas
investing in
just
wine.
got better for me. I
Yeah.
don't know that that's possible, but it did.
amazing.
Yeah. So another project I'm working on, you'll really like this one. I don't know if you know this, but we've been trying to purchase the pack facilities.
Yes.
And we're fairly close. Now it is contingent upon someone keeping their contractual obligation to me. They may not. They may sell it to somebody else, which is fine. But if we get it, one of the things we're going to build is a private social club. And so the private social club will have like 10 guest rooms. It'll be a social club. It'll have like cigar room, wine storage, etc. Then we're going to put a spa in the golf clubhouse.
What?
And the golf clubhouse will be redone, and that will be like the social, if you're a social member. And then the private members will go to the to the social club. There will be wine will be a big component of that. That's why I bring that up.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
Are you like stars?
Yes,
just
yes.
everywhere,
I mean, I can't even speak.
so excited for this.
yeah, this would be a lot
that
of fun.
sounds
Those are my pet projects, like my side projects.
Yeah.
Kara's running the wine club, so that's great.
Is she here?
Yeah,
all the
full
time
time
now?
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So she's going to be running the wine project, and if we can acquire the club, probably a good piece of that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So I know that you have lived in Palmas
Oh, wow.
forever.
It's been a while. It's the
Like,
longest
how
I've
many
lived
years?
anywhere. Well, technically, I moved here in 2014, but I've been here since 2009.
So 15
so
years.
So from 2009 to 14, I still had nexus in the States and was not planning on moving here. I was paying my taxes there, my residence, everything. And finally in 2014, I was like, well, I guess I'm not going anywhere. Yeah.
So was that because of the acts? Because I forget
No, I
when
came, I came before the acts,
Okay.
but not as a resident. I was
Okay.
still a resident in the States.
I see.
And I came just for work.
Yeah.
No intention of moving. And then in 14, 15, the reason I decided to stay is I had, we had a lot of assets here, and then I was asked to join an advisory group, a private equity group, and it was a great opportunity. So then I said, okay, let's just make it formal and move.
So I would be curious to know how Palmas has changed over the years, in your opinion. I mean,
Tremendously.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. We have to get the timing down so I can drink wine.
Yeah, you can drink. It's fine. I can
Okay.
edit.
Okay. Oh, perfect.
Haha.
Well, good.
We
Give me
can
another
even
glass.
we can pause. Yeah.
No, we don't have to pause. So first of all, when I first got here, Palmas was completely bankrupt. Completely. So, yeah, don't give Becky anymore. She's at her limits already. She's cut off. She's done.
Stop. I feel great.
Just have some more wine. I mean, tea. So when I moved here, the grass on the golf course was knee-high. Everything was boarded up. All of the homes on Shell Castle were literally crack homes. And when I say crack homes, I mean if you went inside, there was crack needles, mattresses, graffiti, condoms.
Wow.
Yeah, all of Shell Castle, this whole road, all the way down. The homes on the waterfront, everything. There might have been 3 homes that were not.
Who lived here?
Nobody. They were
I
crack
mean-
homes. Literally.
But I mean, like the ones that weren't. Who
It was mostly locals back then, but a lot of the homes were abandoned. Even the ones that were not being used by vagrants were
right.
abandoned.
wow.
There was no security.
It was not effective security.
Uh-huh.
And most of Palmas was vacant. So, like, obviously Los Lagos. What's the big one right over here? The 150 units, Harbor Lakes, Soldaria. I mean,
Yeah.
basically, Palmas was deserted. And we had been buying assets, looking for assets all around San Juan, high rises. And my team kept saying, look, you got to go see Palmas, you got to go see Palmas. I had no time to come out here. It was either we were working or drinking, one of the two.
Yeah.
And so one Friday morning we wake up and we're just as hungover as can be, because it turns out bankers like to start their weekends on Thursdays. And if they bring a grapefruit to the office, that's signaling work week's over. Because
A
the
grapefruit?
grapefruit is used to squeeze into a glass with vodka.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when you show up on a Thursday and they have fresh grapefruit on their desk, you've
It's
done for the
done.
weekend. So Friday morning, I wake up and no more work. All I wanted was what do they call them? The double decker, what is it at KFC? The 2 grilled chickens with the cheese in the middle. It's the best hangover cure in the world. And I just wanted one of those. Double
Okay.
down. They call it double down.
Double down.
Yeah.
From
So-
KFC.
From KFC. Fantastic.
This episode is not sponsored by KFC, by the way.
Yeah, no. So anyway, somebody says, look, you got a couple hours, you don't have to go to the airport, let's go out to Palmas. As soon as we got to the front gate, I told whoever was with me, I said, look, you can tell the team, stop looking in Puerto Rico, this is where we're going to buy.
Wow.
And I later found out why. because this was developed by Charles Fraser in the 1970s at the same time that Sea Pines was developed in South Carolina. He developed both of them,
Wow.
which then bled into Hilton Head. He was kind of like the godfather of mixed resorts. And so the Carolina to Florida coast is dotted with Palmas del Mar, if you will. And so it just felt like home to me as soon as I came in the door.
Okay.
And I didn't know why. So the guy was from, South Carolina area.
So wait, you're a golfer.
No.
You golf? Okay.
No. I've hosted PGA events. I've
Okay.
owned a couple courses in the States and here. But
You don't golf.
Well, let me say this. I will go out on the golf course with clubs. And I will hit the ball around.
Okay.
But I don't know if it would qualify as golfing. Like Sean and I would be great
Yeah.
golfing partners.
Have you been?
No, I keep threatening and we just don't connect.
You haven't been golfing with him?
No, I need to though.
Let's golf
Have you
with the
seen
homies.
Have you seen the video? I went to. I'm in the group. So I went to the golf tournament for Mike Vasquez. Have you seen the video of when I? So where everybody's
No.
drinking bourbon.
Yeah.
And we had these coconuts, the Mario coconuts, and I couldn't get one open. So I set it on the ground as a tee, and put my golf ball on the. And in my head, I was like,
This is perfect.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
I'm going to just use it as a tee, hit my golf ball, pick it back up, and go. And
Yeah,
if
I
I get
can
lucky,
imagine
I'm going to
how
knock
well
knock the cork out.
Right.
Man, I hit that thing dead center in the coconut, but it made somebody was recording it. It was the coolest thing ever.
Oh my gosh, we need that video. Because we can
Yeah.
we can add it on the
Perfect. Yeah, I'll
website.
send it.
So
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's hilarious.
And so my golf ball just slices through the coconut. But that's how I play golf.
Cool.
But like that's my type of golf. So I know that Sean and I would have a great
Yeah.
game together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so I came. It was bankrupt, and it's gone through a lot of cycles. It definitively a better and definitely better place today. Post Maria, we were planning on leaving, and then COVID happened, and it was like, wow, this is a great place again. So now we're here.
So it was because we came in 2021.
Yep.
We were supposed to move in 2020. We came to visit in February 2020.
Yep.
And then COVID hit. And then I was just seeing all the news and like hearing from people that were here or left or people in San Juan and like how locked down everything was here.
Yeah.
But you felt fine within the gates during COVID. Felt like it was good. And
COVID wasn't really a thing for me. When we were in the gates, our poker group, etc., we tried to not let COVID interfere with our schedule, and I think we were pretty effective at that.
yeah.
And I still did a lot of travel during COVID.
So
So while the Puerto Rico government was miserable and the island was miserable, at least myself and friends in Palmas it was actually the best time ever because nobody else was working. So
Right.
all we could do was drink, play poker, and I think that was it. So
Right.
we basically for a year drank and played poker. It was fantastic.
Which is actually, I wrote down a few ideas for
Yeah.
things for us to discuss.
Yeah.
And I believe that you consider yourself a poker degen.
I'm
Right?
definitively a degenerate, yes.
Yeah.
I think that's an accurate
So,
description. Poker
I
degenerate,
have
yeah.
heard some.
There are probably none of them are true, I'm sure.
I know they're all.
I-
They're all true.
No, I don't think any of them
So
are.
there
But let's
has
just start
to be
with
at
one.
least one good story that you can tell us about a crazy poker night. I feel like maybe I don't know if this was you or it was Mario.
Yeah.
But I heard one story about like a bet that ended up on the pickleball court at 7 a.m.
Yeah, that's probably the most famous one.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was there that night, but I did not go to the I did
Okay.
not go to the famous pickleball night.
Okay.
We've had a couple of pickleball nights.
Oh.
And usually they're usually small wager between 5 to 30,000 per game. We try to keep it reasonable.
Small wager, $30K for yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, so I did not go, but I understand the details of it pretty well. There was a lot of goofy things going on at poker. It seems like it's calmed down a lot, but we've had races across the marina at 3 a.m.
Swimming?
Swimming, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not during sargassum season.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. We've had roof surfing at, I don't know, 5 in the morning.
What does roof surfing entail? How does that work?
Somebody goes to leave poker to drive home, and someone, without announcing, gets on top of their car.
Oh,
and
I was thinking on
surfs.
top of the house. Okay.
No.
On top of the
Although there
car.
was the night that we went to go get the rooster, and Richard, did you hear the rooster story?
No.
Oh, this is probably my favorite story.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay, so we're at poker, and then I'll give you some details on the pickleball one.
Okay.
So we're at poker, and Chris Ackerman is complaining about this rooster that keeps waking him up. And
Understandable.
so, I understandable.
Yeah.
So he offers a $1,000 bounty on this rooster. So towards the end of poker night, myself, Richard, and and this guy that used to play with us, Alfredo, decide we're going to go find this rooster and get our $1,000 bounty. But we're pretty intoxicated. We need a driver, so we enlist Dante.
Okay.
So Dante's driving us around looking for this rooster. So-
Dante from Pura Vida.
From Pura Vida.
Yeah.
Because he's our dealer. Okay.
Oh, right. I
Yeah,
knew
but
that. I knew that.
Listen, just because he's Mexican, what I mean is car dealer. He's not our drug dealer.
Right.
A lot of people confuse that. You say Dante's our dealer, he's like, oh,
Yeah.
what can he get? Is it good stuff?
Yeah.
No, he's the car dealer.
Right.
So, and Dante, by the way, would really appreciate that. You don't have to edit that out.
No.
So after like 30 minutes of stumbling around in people's backyards, we can't find this damn rooster. We can hear it, but we can't find it. But we're not going to lose out on the $1,000. So we decide, let's just go out into Humacao and get us a random rooster. Like everybody in Puerto Rico has roosters.
Yeah, they're
everywhere.
I mean, they were at the mall in San Juan, remember?
Yeah,
We
in the
went
parking
shopping
lot,
and there's
yeah.
like,
Right,
is that
roosters
a
everywhere.
rooster in that tree?
I think
Yeah, sure is.
This is not going to be that hard.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because he's not going to know if it's the rooster.
Right,
until
exactly.
the
Right.
the
And
next
we had a
day.
plan. But at this point, we had a plan. And the plan was, regardless of what his opinion was, all we had to do was get him to open the door, and we were going to throw the rooster in his house, and then charge him $2,000 to get it out.
Oh my goodness.
That way, he could not stiff us for the $1,000.
Right.
So it was all worked out. It was genius. Nothing could go wrong in this plan.
No.
No. So we go out and we start driving around some of the neighborhoods, and we're like, you can hear roosters everywhere, but you just remember it's like 3 in the morning, maybe 4.
Right.
And we couldn't quite find them. So we're like, okay, we need to enlist some help. So who's the best person to help you at 4 in the morning to get a rooster? The guy doing crack in the bathroom at the gas station. Yeah. So we go back and we get the guy out of the bathroom
What?
who's doing crack.
How?
We just went up to him and asked him if you want to make $20.
We just need you to capture
We just
a
need you to get us a
rooster.
rooster.
Ah.
Yeah, and he's like, okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So now we got this. Look, I shouldn't just, this gentleman that was enjoying the evening. That's
Right,
how I'll
right,
refer to him.
Right, yes.
And
Okay.
in the back seat with us. And Dante's driving and I'm up front. And we're going
my
around through the
God.
neighborhoods. And he's got a couple hot leads, and he's almost on. And after a while, he's like, "Look, I can't chase cock all night long. Let's just go to my uncle's. I know he has a rooster,
Oh,
and I can just steal my uncle's
right,
rooster."
right, perfect.
Yeah. So we go up these side roads, and we're at what apparently is his uncle's house. And so I go to get out of the car with Richard, and we're like, "Oh, we'll just go grab the rooster."
Yeah.
And Dante grabs. He's like, "No, you guys can't get out." What are you talking about, Dante? He says, "Look, if you guys get shot tonight, it's going to be an international incident. He's local. It will be no big deal if he gets shot." So terrible.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So we're like, okay, that's a good plan. You
Yeah,
see?
yeah.
We were planning. We were always
Yeah.
one step ahead.
Well, and you had Dante there.
We had Dante there. Nothing
I'm
could go wrong.
glad you had Dante.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this guy disappears into the woods and comes back 2-3 minutes later with he was holding a beautiful cock. It was nice.
Oh,
So
my God.
we all pile back in the car, and now I'm holding this guy's cock, and I've got my arms wrapped around it. And so we get back to Palmas. We drop him off. We pay him his $20, and we get back to Palmas, and we go to Ackerman's place. We burrow under his fence,
With the
cuddling his cock in our hands. and climb up. And where he lived at the time, you kind of had to scale a combination of walls and roofs to get to the crosswalk to get in and unlock the door so we could all get in. So we maneuver this, and we get in, and of course now he doesn't want to answer his door. So, you know what? I just realized the night Richard fell off the roof was a different night. So anyway, he may have fallen off the roof that night. Because I remember one night he fell off of the roof at Ackerman's, and I thought, oh my God, this is terrible after what happened. Rest his soul,
Yeah.
was one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
But I know he would appreciate these memories because that's
Yeah.
how he lives on.
Yep.
I remember one night he rolled off this roof, and I was like, so the reason he rolled off a roof, somebody came out of their home and scared him as he's coming across the roof. And I'm watching him slide down the roof, and I was like, oh, you fat bastard, don't you fucking fall down and die on me, you bastard. I'm sorry, Richard.
And he was fine.
He was totally fine.
Yeah.
And so, as it turns out, by the time we got to the golf cart and drove out, Richard was walking in front of us on the road somehow. We're like, right, exactly. So anyway, back to us grown men playing with cocks. So, well, just one cock to be accurate. So Chris Ackerman won't answer his door. So now we're really upset. We don't want to waste the opportunity. He didn't get our cock. So I'm like, you know what? Everyone's like, well, what are we going to do with this cock now? And I said, you know what? I'm going to take it home. I like cock. I'll take it home. This is so terrible. This is getting way out of control. Okay, so we decide we're going to go drop Richard off first, and I'm holding this in my arms, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, Alicia's not going to be happy if I take this home.
No.
And even if I put it in the backyard, like, we don't have a big backyard, right? We're in Aquabella.
Yeah.
So I'm like, she's going to know I bought
100%, yeah.
an extra cock home.
Yeah.
Right? She would know for sure.
Yeah.
So as we pull into Richard's house, so bad, I'm sitting in the front seat holding this cock in my arms.
Wait,
and
is the guy still with you? The guy?
no,
that
we had to drop him off. $20 gets you one cock and you got to go.
Okay,
cock and
but
go.
you were gonna keep.
We kept the cock. Yeah.
So he just completely stole it from his uncle and
$20. He was good. He's on his way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
So now we pull up in front of Richard's house to drop him off, and this flash of genius comes to my head. Richard has a big side yard.
Oh, give it to
I
Richard.
don't need his permission. I just open up the car door and I run out and I throw it in his yard.
Okay.
And so that thing lived for like 6 months.
In Richard's yard.
Actually, in the bushes around it, and it finally made its way to the rooftop in the restaurant Chinchos.
Oh.
We tried on a subsequent night to get it out of there because it was waking up Richard. But it was well embedded, so we just had to leave it. Yeah. So now there's 2 errant roosters in Palmas instead of 0.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Good job.
then
Nice
Richard
work.
and I on another night decided, no, we are going to go again to go get another rooster. And so we go back to the gas station because
So
now
then we can have 3 roosters
we have
in
3.
Palmas? Okay.
And so we figure we already know the game plan. You don't have to waste any time. Just go get the guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
$20.
In the bathroom.
Rooster, you got one. So we get there. It's like, I don't know, 3 a.m. This is so bad. So we find this guy, and we're like, hey, listen, we'll give you $40 if you help us go catch a rooster.
You doubled the ante.
That was the problem. So listen, so we give him the $40, and when we gave him the $40, he said something like, okay, I have to use the bathroom, and then we'll go. Or no, he said, I got to use the bathroom, and I'll take my car, and I'll bring you back a rooster. Okay, perfect. So we go inside.
And ran.
So hold on, listen. We go inside. I swear to God, we go inside. We're talking to the clerk, and we're just chatting with her, and we're telling her, yeah, we just paid the guy $40 to go get a rooster. You know, I mean, like, she knows us, you know, because we're always up there like a bunch of derelicts. And you know what she says to us? You gave him $40 for a rooster? You never pay more than $20. He's gonna run with your money.
Oh my gosh.
I did not know that the going price for a rooster was $20.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, good to know.
So we walk outside, Richard and I, and the guy's getting in his car, and we're going to try to walk up and get in his car with him to go get the rooster. And, of course, the guy, like, accelerates, and Richard and I are just standing there, and we look at each other and go, he's not coming back. He's not coming back.
But
So for $40, You can't get a rooster.
You can't get a rooster, but for $20 you can.
$20 you get a rooster. That's the moral of the story.
I also didn't know that you could find a guy at the Texaco bathroom.
Let me tell you something. Any man in the Texaco bathroom at 4 a.m. will do almost anything for $20.
Okay. Well, I don't really go
Hey,
to the
ladies,
Texaco
keep that in
bathroom.
mind next time you're lonely at 4 in the morning.
Oh, God. Ooh.
Just go to the local Texaco bathroom.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. That sounds horrible.
Yeah.
And you know how many men will no longer be able to go to poker after they hear this? The wives are going to be like, are you guys going to the local bathrooms at 4 in the morning?
Oh, no.
How long ago was this?
Oh, it was a long time ago. Years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, years ago.
So many years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, Alicia's such a blessing. Alicia, I don't know how she puts up with me. I don't know why or how. But this stuff never rattles her, ever.
That was one of my questions for real on here
Yeah.
was, how does Alicia deal with you?
I have no idea. I really don't. I have zero concept. So the other day, I come home from travel, and I'm working long hours right now. So I get home at like 6 in the evening, and I'm on my phone when I walk in the door. I turn it off my phone for 20 minutes to play with Aria. Get back on my phone. I finished my last video call at 2:30 in the morning for work, legitimate work. Well, Tim calls and he talked to me about business. He's leaving for the Philippines. So he shows up to my house at like 1. It sits there drinking bourbon while I'm finishing my call. Next thing you know, we play poker till like 7. And he has to leave to the Philippines in a couple hours. And
This
I
was
have-
just like a
2
few
days
days ago because I know they were just
Yes.
going.
Yes. That's how, yes. You see, I have a lot of issues. And how she puts up with it, I have no idea. None.
Yeah.
She's an amazing woman, amazing wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you edit that out? I don't want her to.
Oh no, that's what we're gonna
She'll
start
use-
it with. We're just gonna have. I'm gonna
She's-
send that to her.
She's going to use it against me.
It's gonna be her ringtone.
Exactly. That will be her ringtone for sure.
Yes.
100%. Oh, do you want to know about the pickleball?
Yes,
So, okay, keep in mind, I wasn't there. I mean, I was at poker that night.
but you didn't go. You
I
weren't there because
didn't
it
go to
was
the
like a
pickleball.
7 a.m. game or something, right? Or
But
like,
that's not
you-
what
no.
prevented me from going.
No.
Yeah.
Right. Of course
Yeah.
not.
I think at the time, so I was kind of boycotting pickleball at the time.
Why?
Because I hadn't played yet, and I used to be a really avid tennis player. And as you probably know, and if you go from tennis to pickleball, you fight it for a long time. You're like, I don't play kiddie
I'm not
games.
doing that,
I'm
yeah.
not, come on, I play real sports. But as we all know, pickleball's so fun, and maybe it's just because we're old. But either way,
Maybe.
it's just fun.
Joel, like, vetoed it. He wouldn't play for
I don't want nothing to do with
like
it.
2 years.
I've played like 4 normal, what I would call human games in the morning, like show up with guys and play pickleball.
Yeah.
And I think 3 degenerate games.
Yeah. Okay.
And I love it. I would play either way again. Maybe I'll do one tonight. So anyway, so apparently the story goes, so we wrap up a game, and I think I could say names, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Melkerson, I think it was, you know what? Melkerson always says, you want the truth, you want to be entertained. So I'll just make it up anyway. No, just kidding. So Melkerson, I think, was not having a good night at poker. He either was or wasn't. We'll just say he wasn't. Okay. So he gets this idea, I'm going to make it back on the pickleball court. And so it was Melkerson, Brian Shevlin, I think Richard, and somebody else, of which
Mario?
I
Why
don't
do
thi-
I feel like Mario was a part of it?
I don't think it was. Let me tell you something. Velia's got a little grip on Mario. You know, he taps out a lot, and I respect him for that. Don't
Yeah,
get me wrong.
yeah.
I respect him for that. So apparently, they show up at the pickleball courts, and they're going to settle the poker game on the courts for
Right.
$30,000 a game.
Yep.
But when they show up, I think it was maybe 7:30, because apparently when they showed up, like 30 minutes later, or as they showed up, some of the, I would say, normal human beings were there, like the wives and the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
People that like reserved the courts.
right, yeah,
to-
exactly.
yeah.
And from what I understand, they show up to the courts like double fisting, And somebody that was with them was so drunk he passed out next to the pickleball courts.
Oops.
And like the moms were out there, just with the
freaking
kids.
out. Yeah.
Just trying to have a morning with the kids in the park and play pickleball.
Yeah, you don't really expect to see a...
Right. And of course, so here come the guys after playing poker for 12 hours, stumbling with beer in each hand.
Yeah.
And then it was, because somebody had passed out, they didn't have enough players. So now they needed a player.
Changes the game.
Yeah.
They asked one of the moms?
Yes, they did. And somebody didn't have shoes. So somebody had to play without shoes. Now remember, this is a $30,000 pickleball game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and Brian Shevlin, somebody asked Brian, like, well, can I just choose who I think it was Melkerson, who I'm going to take as a partner. And Shevlin was like, well, I've never played in my life, so you can choose whoever you want to. And I'm probably getting the facts a little bit wrong, mixed up.
Yeah.
But Shevlin had never played. Somebody was with no shoes, and they were down a player. And so Ginny was there.
Uh-huh.
And so
she's really good.
And she's really good.
Yeah.
And so I think it was Shevlin ended up with Ginny as a partner. And Melkerson was on the other side of the court. And so I wasn't there, but what I understand unfolded is because Melkerson, maybe I heard he might have had a drink or two that night.
Okay.
When he was trying to taunt Ginny during the game, like normal taunting, it came out like super creepy. Like, Ginny. He's like, swaying all over the court. Ginny, are you ready, Ginny? So anyway, I heard it was a great game. Yeah.
Do we know the outcome?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I'm sure we did at the time, but I don't remember.
Oh my God.
I love your stories so much.
So much.
They're just, you know what I was realizing? When you're younger, you go out and you do stupid things, and you think they're good times, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I have all these fun stories. And then you get older, and you do really dumb things, probably because you can afford bail. And then you're like, oh, yeah, what I did as a kid was just stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I was thinking about that, like, what are some of the craziest things I did when I was younger? And I realized, like, they would be boring today. And so when I got older, one of the craziest things I did is long story short, I had a brand new car, and it was pissing me off. And I bought a property that had two houses, and I didn't need one of them. So my friend bet me I couldn't tear the house down with my brand new Jimmy. And I did. So I drove it in through the front of the kitchen and out the back wall, and then piece by piece took parts of the house on the top of the car and dropped it into a fire by slamming on the brakes. And by the end of the night, the car had no doors, and I accidentally drove it into a pond. That was a fun night.
Oh my God.
And then I tried to convince the insurance company.
It was an accident? I don't know what happened.
No, it was worse. It was so bad, so much worse, that the wind blew a tree on it. And like somehow it fell in the pond. Because when we were driving it...
Oh, my God.
Well, first when we went into the kitchen, my friend who was in the passenger seat, so we went through the kitchen wall, and when we landed in the kitchen, the car kind of went through the floorboards.
So somebody actually signed up to get in the car with you to drive into the
The guy that said I probably couldn't do it.
That's a true blue.
So we get...
I don't know if I'd do that for you, Bex.
Here's how solid this guy was. The first evolution, or the first hurdle, we'll call it, on the trail was going through the kitchen.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we get into the kitchen, the car gets stuck in the floorboard, so I need him to push the car, right? So you can't open the doors because the car is in the house, yeah. And so he rolls the window down, and he's holding his beer, and he goes to get out, so he reaches up onto the hood to pull himself out. Well, of course, we took no safety checks, like turning off the electricity. So the kitchen light, the wire apparently was grounded on the roof.
Oh my God.
So when he put his hand up, it was shocking him. So I'm in the driver's seat, and I'm looking at my friend, and he's doing this.
Oh my God.
It was fucking hilarious. And so
he also kept his beer the whole time.
that was the point. He spilled no beer. He spilled no beer.
Not.
So we get out of the kitchen, and we do all these goofy things. And then at some point we decided, hey, this truck would be much better as a Baja vehicle. And the only difference I know between a vehicle and Baja is it has no doors.
Oh, right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you take doors off of your vehicle at 2 a.m. around a campfire?
Open them and back into something?
There you go. You open them, you back into a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we removed the doors, and so now we had a Baja vehicle. So we're like, well, let's go Bajaing.
Oh, my God.
So the property had a pond on it, and it hadn't been maintained in years. So when you're driving through the foliage, you can't see anything. Like everything is grown up over your windshield. So you're just driving blind. And so I enter this thicket, and I know the pond's to my right, and I'm trying not to drive the vehicle and kill us in the pond.
But you have a Baja vehicle, so you can get out. It's fine.
It wasn't like a big concern, but whatever.
Right.
I didn't want to ruin the truck.
Right.
So we're going through the
Ruin the
thicket,
truck.
and boom, run into a tree. And when I say a tree, I don't mean a twig. I mean a tree.
Oh.
We hit it hard enough that the guy he cracks the windshield with his head.
Oh my God.
Still doesn't spill his beer. By now it was a different beer.
Well, yeah, obviously.
So this guy, 2 different incidences, never spilled a beer. Got electrocuted, busted my windshield with his head.
That's dedication.
Never spilled a beer. Yeah, that was a champ. So I backed up. The car's still running, and I cut too far to the left to go around the tree, and that's when we ended in the pond. But that wasn't my fault.
Classic mistake.
Classic mistake. Anybody could have done it. Anybody could have done it.
How are you still alive?
Well, I didn't get electrocuted or hit the tree. That was my friend Tripp.
I know, but
Yeah.
still, you're all of these situations that
No,
you
I probably had a
find yourselves-
seatbelt on. I was being safe.
Solid,
I was
yeah.
solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, my airbag never went off that night. Maybe it didn't have an airbag.
Maybe
that was
somebody's
it.
tampering with your airbag.
Maybe that was the Dakota. Yeah. So the point of that is, as you get older, your crazy becomes crazier. Right? Because as a kid, you're like, oh, what did you do? I broke into school and ate all the chocolate. No, I didn't do that.
You always have to beat yourself.
Right, maybe, yeah. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I just have a problem. Is Alicia going to hear this, do you think?
I mean,
What if she leaves? She's probably going to leave me after she hears it.
Why?
I don't know
She
if I've
doesn't-
ever
she
told her
knows-
that story. Oh, maybe I did. I'm sure I did. Yeah.
You have a few
I'm-
of them. The stories.
She probably knows
She
that
knows
one.
you're crazy. Like,
Crazy?
no, like, I mean, I don't mean that like you're crazy. I mean, she knows.
Just so you know, I'm not offended no matter how you mean it.
But what I'm saying though is like the crazy story. She knows the crazy story.
She must.
Even if she hasn't heard that one
Yeah.
specifically.
But what if that throws her over the edge?
I doubt it.
You don't think
I mean,
so?
if she's stuck with you for how long?
8 years,
Yeah.
I think.
I
Yeah.
don't think these are over the top.
Hey, could you do me a favor? Ask me how long I've been with her, and I'm going to give 4 answers, and I'll text you what the right one is later,
Okay.
and you can edit it.
Perfect.
to
Just
the
say
right one.
numbers
Yeah,
and then-
exactly. Okay, ready? Go ahead and ask me.
So, how long have you guys been together?
6 years.
Right. Yeah.
8 years.
How long?
7 years.
Okay.
I think it's 8. It might be 10. 10
Or,
years.
or 9.
Now I'm confused. 10 years. It's been 10 years.
Since you've been together or married?
Married for 3.5.
Okay, but overall.
10, yeah, or 8.
Or
Shut-
17.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
37.
Yeah, 37. I
Yeah.
think it's 37 years. We're going 37. Yeah.
Yeah. Sean and I are at 10.
You guys have been together for 10 years.
Yeah.
How do you put up with Sean? You see? She relates to Alicia.
I am a unique individual.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he's got to be so much fun, though.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what I love
Yeah.
about him is he's so fun, but he's also so educated.
Oh, incredibly.
So he's like, you never get bored hanging out with him.
So I have a folder on my phone called Sean Sings Songs because throughout the day he'll just start singing some random song or a little tune.
and you record it?
Yeah, and then so I always
Aw.
record it, and then I at some point I'll put it like a compilation together.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the things I
Joel sings songs too.
sing
He
songs.
does? That's so sweet.
Yeah.
We should do a boy band. we should do we should do an episode where we sing a song together.
What about
If we did an adult talent show in town,
Oh.
not like adult in that, like that, but
Oh.
like, just like
Oh, yeah, or that
you
too,
you and
yeah.
your boy band get on stage,
What if the boy band was part of
Hold on,
the
can I ask you a question?
Palmas Housewives?
Oh, that's
The real
funny.
Palmas Housewives.
Can I ask you a question? When she said we should do an adult talent show, what went through your mind?
Yeah, I'm
Talent
curious.
show.
Okay, cool.
That's what went through my mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just found it interesting that she felt like she had to put a qualifier on that. Really, Becky, you felt like you had to explain yourself? Like, so when you said that, did you have flashes of like all the Palmas couples?
No.
What is your favorite hobby and pastime? I didn't know so little about you. We should do an episode with you. Are you guys going to do an episode with each other?
We've talked about it, but we haven't decided. Maybe that's what we do is we have guest hosts
Oh, there you go.
who
Love it. Yeah.
interview us. Or
Love it.
Not interview.
No. Chat.
Conversate.
Converse.
Chat.
Converse.
Yes.
I love it.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
So, okay, Sean's off on a golf course playing golf, staying sober. What do you do?
I also golf.
She's probably golfing with me.
Yeah.
But you don't, but you can't, wait, let me ask a question. Does Sean golf with you?
No.
Right, okay.
I don't golf with him.
Okay. But do you golf on Sunday mornings?
No.
Okay, so
He doesn't. Yeah, because he goes early in the mornings.
Yeah.
During the week.
yeah.
And.
And so you're just still sleeping, taking care
Oh
of it.
yeah. Yeah.
I got you, girl.
Yeah.
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 So you guys both play golf. Are you pretty good?
No.
I mean, sometimes we hit well.
How often do you play golf?
We try to go at least once a week.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I really need to start doing more.
We love it.
I'm
Yeah,
getting
it's
so fat and out of shape.
But I wouldn't necessarily call that like a hobby. Like I was just thinking about it. Like you asked me what things that I do, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
She paints.
I paints.
I paint.
You paint? Well, by the way, where is Sean?
Vegas. Vegas.
He's in
baby.
Vegas? With who?
Gambling.
Jeff.
Gambling.
Really?
Yeah.
Like in Vegas, gambling? Golfing?
well,
What are they
for
doing?
Super Bowl.
Oh,
But they're not going
Super
to the
Bowl.
Super Bowl. They're going to the Sphere.
So gambling and drinking.
Yeah. And like they're going to
Alicia would never let me do that.
ancillary Super Bowl events, I think.
I'm a unique person.
By the way, I'm totally kidding. Alicia has let me go to Vegas several times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably a poor judgment on her part, but
I can't imagine that. Like, I feel like you are somewhat or would be somewhat of an unstoppable force. Like, if you want to go to Vegas, you're going to Vegas, and Alicia's probably like, "Yeah, of course you're going to Vegas."
that's why
Like,
we get along so well.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like,
Yeah, like you know what I ever understand? Those husbands of poker, they're like, "Oh, I can't." My wife said, "I'm like, what?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I
that's
mean,
weird to me.
if Joel said
Yeah.
like I'm going to Vegas, Joel's a different story. I mean, he doesn't go,
He's better than me.
cuddle cocks and fall off roofs or.
He doesn't go chase down the corner gas station. corner man.
No, he doesn't. But
Does that win him points? Is that he's now more free to go do stuff?
he's free to do stuff anyway.
What if he
We
cuddles
both
cocks
are.
and you just don't know about it?
I don't think he does.
Look, sometimes when I look at Joel, I'm like, that man looks like he knows how to hold a cock.
Oh my God, this has gone so wrong.
I told you, terrible. I have
Who invited this guy?
I have no idea. Definitively a programming error.
Yes,
It's a good thing you have an edit button.
true.
When you were contemplating setting this up, what were you thinking like would be some of the highlights? Like, and I'm like, what were some of the people, some of the stories? Did you have any preconceived notions, or was
Not
it
really.
just totally blind? Yeah.
Not really. No, we. I mean, obviously, like we knew people we wanted to talk to.
Yeah.
We have. I mean, honestly, the list is long. We have at least 80 names, I think.
Oh wow.
On
and so
there.
how many have you done so far?
You're number 5.
That's not too bad.
No, 4. 4 technically.
That's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to be number one, but I get it.
Oh.
Well, okay, so
Yeah.
let me
Yeah,
just
I
we'll
get
tell
it.
you a little story about number 1.
Okay.
It was Joel, and it was because we were just going to like record an intro and like
Yeah.
kind of just get her used to. She had never recorded a podcast before.
Nope.
Oh wait, hold on a second. People in Palmas. The audience is Palmas. I should
Palmas.
probably. What did I say?
What do you mean?
I'm just saying I should probably say something people would want to know about me.
You've said a lot
You
of
have
things.
said a lot.
I don't feel like I think people will listen to this and just be like,
They already knew that.
Yep.
he's
No,
because
exactly,
good.
like we already knew that.
Okay,
He's
yeah.
just
Okay.
a fucking drunk. We already know.
Right.
Okay, so Eric, there is nothing more to know about him.
Okay, then please tell us something.
Well, I'm not saying I know something, but
Well,
I'm just saying
can
I
you-
should have. I should have been prepared.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? I should have thought of something that I
that
could.
people in Palmas don't know about
Don't
you.
know about me.
Okay, I have maybe they don't know this because
Okay.
I found this when I was doing my research and I didn't know it. You were in the U.S. Navy.
I was, yes, for
I
6
didn't know
years.
that about you.
Yeah, so I was in the nuclear engineering program for the Navy, kind of by accident. Actually, completely by accident.
Thank you for your service. And my
Thank you.
stepfather was also in the Navy.
He was.
Mm-hmm.
So I had an appointment to the Naval Academy from the late great Strom Thurmond, one of probably the most racist senators that ever came out of the Southeast. But it was, you go to the Naval Academy, you want an appointment to the Naval Academy. So anyway, I have this appointment to the Naval Academy, and the Gulf War breaks out. And me and my friends in ROTC one day find this magazine of a guy with a dune buggy, and on the dune buggy, he's got like a 50 cal rocket launcher and a machine gun. So if you can go to the Naval Academy or go ride a dune buggy with rockets and machine guns, what are you going to choose?
yeah.
Right? Dune buggy.
Yeah.
So we sign up to go into Special Forces, and we go through the process, take the test, and just before we ship out, they call me into this recruiting station, whatever, and they had a bunch of people there, and they were like, listen, we know what you signed up for, but we got your test scores back, and we're going to transfer you over to the Navy, to the nuclear engineering program. And at that time, I thought you had to listen to them. I was like, oh, man, whatever. So that's how I ended up there. And I didn't get to go to ride the rocket launchers, but here's why it was a good thing. The guys that I signed up with ended up in Mogadishu during Black Hawk Down. In fact, one of them was one of the central cast members. He was like
wow.
an actor played his role.
Wow.
So who knows? Maybe I was meant to
Right.
not go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how I ended up there. Well, let me think about something that people may not know. I had a job one time. Oh, actually, I had two jobs. So the first one, it was pretty funny. Well, okay, as a kid, I had a couple jobs. But after the Navy, I only had one. And I worked for corporate America. In the first 30 days, we just had a mutual agreement that
This wasn't gonna work.
This wasn't going to work. But one of my favorite jobs I ever had, I was in high school. I was a senior. And so I started working young, like when I was 13 years old. I worked in restaurants, painting houses, cleaning paint buckets, whatever I could do. to
Where are
make
you
money.
from?
Well, I grew up in Vermont, but
Okay.
raised in South Carolina.
Okay.
And so I'm in South Carolina, living in Conway, which is right outside Myrtle Beach. And I was spending a lot of time with this friend of mine at his home, very good friend of mine. And we decided we need some money, so we need a job. So we're do like any industrial person, pull up the help wanted. And there was a new, I think it was actually, it wasn't a gold, it was a Ponderosa. A new Ponderosa was just opening, and they needed to staff the whole place. Well, I had worked in a restaurant before. So I told my friend, and he had never worked, I don't think he ever had a job. I said, listen, I'm going to go in and apply for the morning kitchen manager. And then you come in the next day and apply as a kitchen cook, like line cook or whatever. And we totally fabricated his resume, like 100%. Mine was probably 50% fabricated. And so I go in for this interview, and I get the job to be the kitchen manager. And he gets hired as my assistant line cook or whatever. That restaurant, I think, stayed open for 3 weeks, and then they shut it
Wow.
down, and it never opened again. There's actually a highway over where it was now.
Wait, did you
Wow.
ruin it?
Listen, that is a very strong statement. So here's what I realized. If you're going to be the manager of
A kitchen?
a kitchen, you should probably want your employees to have some experience and not just be your friends.
Right.
So I'm making all of the breakfast stuff for the line, for the buffet, French breadsticks, eggs, whatever. And all he had to do was take it out there, keep the bar stocked. That's pretty simple, right? So I'm doing my thing, swimming way over my skis. I don't know whatever. I'm falling behind. To the point that guests are coming into the kitchen saying like, hey, there's no food on the buffet. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a second, I've cooked stuff. Like,
Yeah,
where
where's it
is
going?
Right, where's it going?
He's eating it?
Oh, it's so much worse. So I look up, I tell the guest, oh, we'll be, sorry, whatever. And I look on the prep table, all the food I've been making is sitting there. So I'm like, okay, where's Fred? Like, I've been making all this food. Where the fuck? People coming in. So I start looking around the kitchen, and I go to this walk-in cooler that we have no reason to go to. I think it was the lunch cruise. And Fred is sitting on the floor.
Crying.
No, he's got a bucket of pudding. And when I say a bucket of pudding, you know the big full pans?
Yeah.
That they would bring out?
Put up for a buffet.
Yeah. He's sitting on the floor, which, keep in mind, pudding is not for the breakfast buffet, it's for the lunch buffet. So he's in the lunch cooler, sitting like a toddler,
Eating.
scooping with his fingers pudding out of this tub, eating it. And I walk in, I'm like, Fred, what the fuck are you doing, man? And he looks at me like a toddler, like with pudding in his mouth. He's like, what? I'm like, Fred, you're supposed to be bringing food out to the restaurant. People are coming in to the kitchen. Oh, I'm sorry. So he wipes his hands on himself.
Oh my
And so
God.
I go back to cooking, and I don't know why, but I hear him picking up the stuff. I think he's delivering food. So I turn around, and Fred has the French breadsticks that I had made tucked under his arm. Not in a container, like he picked them up, tucked them under his arm, so that he could carry other stuff in his hands.
Oh my God.
And he's pushing the door open to walk out onto the floor. And I'm looking at him, and he has French bread in his armpit
It's hysterical.
and pans of food in his hands. And I'm like yelling, Fred, Fred. He's like, what? And he keeps walking out, and I didn't catch him in time. And he goes out into the restaurant with the French bread in his armpit and carrying food in his hands.
Oh my God.
So obviously, it was not a fantastic grand opening.
No.
It ended
With the restaurant closing.
with a food fight
Okay.
with pancake batter covering every surface of that restaurant.
Wow.
So when we left, I mean, there is food everywhere, and I mean everywhere.
How did the food fight start?
I
Who's- like,
think
who
it
started
was
it?
initially being frustrated with each other, because I'm frustrated he's carrying food in his armpit, and he's
Yeah.
frustrated that he doesn't understand why I'm frustrated. So I think it started that way as like an actual, like somebody threw a chicken leg at somebody or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it just escalated. And then by the time we're done, we're just pissing our pants laughing.
Yeah.
And we're looking around and we're like, wow, this place is destroyed.
So,
And
we quit.
Oh yeah, so we said,
We quit / are fired.
so we actually asked ourselves, like, well, should we clean this up for the lunch crew? And then we just decided not to. So we left.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they got shut down by the health department, but it didn't resolve our problem that we needed money. So next week, we called the owner and asked for our paychecks.
Oh my god.
What?
Yes.
And?
And we got our paycheck.
What?
South Carolina, you have to pay. Yeah. So we got our paycheck. Health department shut them down. They never recovered.
Oh my
The
God.
place never opened.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Now that I'm older,
don't you feel
I probably
bad?
feel bad.
Yeah.
But when I told the story for the first 10 years, it seemed funny. It was hilarious.
I mean, it is funny.
yeah.
it-
He probably had insurance. I don't know.
It is funny. It's funny that
I
you
try
did
not
that.
to think of the responsible
I
side of
feel
it.
bad about for
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
So that was one of my first. So I had a job once. There's something people probably don't know about me.
I feel like there's going to be so much more, and we'd love to have you back.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
Are we already at the end?
Yes.
That's-
Only because we have a hard stop tonight.
Yeah.
If we didn't, we would be here for hours.
I barely started drinking wine.
I know.
Next time
Let's
we'll,
do another one. I'm
Yeah.
going to bring
Yeah.
some wine.
I love it.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Okay.
You
Wait.
ladies are gonna have to
Mm.
Let's
drink some wine
reschedule
with
this
me.
for like
Soon.
next week.
Yeah.
Let's do one next week.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
Part 2.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Eric.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
for
Thank you,
coming.
ladies. Thank you for letting me talk about my car.